Hi there, everybody. It's Ashley with you for Ink to Paper Saturday Showcase this week, featuring Tag Creations Delightful Bunch. In this video, I'll be showcasing this stamp set, which retails for $5, and it includes, 4 sentiments here, a wood grain panel image, a little dot here for detail, an apple outline image, and some veins for leaf images. And this pairs with the Tag Creations Delightful Bunch die collection, which retails for $30. It includes this shaped tag die. It's like a backer die. It does not have to be used to create the actual basket for the apples, but it's great for that because you can have the outline here for the apples, the actual handle here, and the little the little part that punches out here can be used for a tag where you can thread ribbon or twine through. All right, you also get the basket shape, the outline here, the handle, the actual wood panels here as an option, and then you also have the other detail wood panels options too. The handle detail, the apple cluster, the leaves, and then 3 different types of labels that you can use to add to the actual basket center or somewhere on your project. So, a lot of things you can do with this great stamp set and coordinating die collection. So let's get started on creating some sort of project to share with you today. I have here what I'm going to do start with. I'm going to put these dies to the side so I have a little bit more of a workspace. And what I'm going to suggest to do is if you want to use this particular stamp here to get the wood grain pattern with these particular slat panels, what I would suggest is stamping first, then die cutting. It just will be a lot easier. You don't have to keep stamping each individual panel. So you choose your cardstock, stamp, and then die cut. That's just my recommendation, but it doesn't have to be done that way. Another option is you can just stamp directly onto a die cut barrel basket here. You can just stamp right onto that as an option. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can heat emboss. Let's see what else. I think there are some projects shown today with some heat embossing and things like that. So, all right. So let's take the wood grain panel. Since I have not used this stamp yet, I'm going to go ahead and condition it a little bit. You can also take an eraser to condition it if you have one at hand. Make sure to remove the excess though. And I'm going to use Cocoa Bean ink from Paper Tree Ink. And if you need to know how much you need to do, it's going to be at least 3 stamps. And then we can just die cut this. All right, when you're all done, you just pop out the actual dies there. And then you have your wood grain to the side. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just continue my stamping process. I already have die cut the apple here, so I'm going to add the apple outline image to my acrylic block. Take some true black ink and line it right up and stamp it. So you can see it's super easy to line up. Next thing I'm going to do is take some leaf images and do the same thing. So you have one that's 3 clusters, which of course goes with this one here. Now the leaves can be die cut from a green cardstock, or you can do like I am with the white cardstock, up to you. Alright, so at this time I'm just going to set my stamp to the side for a second while I do some coloring, more inking, coloring. Since there aren't any solid images, you have coloring options for this. So you can watercolor if you die cut this from watercolor paper. You can use Copic markers, colored pencils, or blender pens. And so, or you can choose to stamp this directly on like a pure poppy red cardstock for red apples. You could do, you know, a green for green apples or something like that. So you have those options available to you. And this is just a piece of scrap paper I use just to make sure it's nothing on here. I'm going to transfer some of the ink onto an acrylic block. I could do it onto my tabletop too if I wanted to, but just going to color in a little bit here. This is a good way to use your inks. Color. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to remove that. Transfer some of that limeade ice off of my blender pen, and then I'm going to take a different color ink, simply chartreuse, a little bit of a darker one. Get a little bit transferred there, and it allows me to come back over it a little bit darker and blend. Apples come in a few different colors, red, tones of red, yellows to greens. So I'm going to use some pure poppy here. Color my red apples. If you need to add more ink, you can do so. Keep it saturated. I like for it to blend out. A lot of times the apples are very red at the bottom, especially for those Honey Crisped out apples. And then a little bit lighter sides and the top. Another cool thing you can do with your apples is add a little bit of glossy accents to them to make them shine a little bit, make them pop. Let's add a little bit of yellow in here. Blend that little yellow in there. Okay, so now that my coloring is done, I can pretty much go ahead and assemble my basket. What I'm going to do is start with the basket base here. Okay, and then I'm going to just take some adhesive and figure out exactly where each one of these falls into place. Now these little pieces are not required, but they do add an extra element of texture. You can stamp right on it, like I was saying earlier. Or you can just use different colored cardstock too. See, I have these detail pieces here that I've cut from cocoa bean cardstock. And I want to add a little bit of stamping on them. So they go the largest at the top, the medium in the middle, and then you get the smaller one at the end. And I want to take out my stamp set because at this point I'm ready for that little dot stamp there. And I just want to take out some ink and add the little dots. And the dots are basically going to be like little nails where all the basket is assembled together. So I'm going to use at least 3, where I have 1 on the right, 1 in the center, and then 1 on the left. And it's super easy just to add this little detail, but a little detail really helps. You can add as many or as few dots as you want. You can add just 2, or you can add more. So you can add 2 more here if you want to make it, let's see, 2, 5 total is an option too. All right, so I'm going to return my dot, my ink. Place this down here. Get this aligned. Make sure this one is in the center of the barrel basket. And you'll know where to place it because the die cut will line up with the sides of the original basket edges there. Okay, the last one is this little rim here, which can be done in a variety of colors. I'm just choosing cocoa bean. Next up, let's do our apples. Okay, it fits right in here under that lip part. So we'll just add some adhesive here, and then I'll go ahead and just tuck that right on in there. And then last is our leaves. Okay, so my basket is assembled. I just want to show you can add the handle here if you want or not, because you can see here it's definitely a basket. You can add a handle to your project or right here, and then add this little detail to it too. This part is optional for if you're not using the actual tag part. If you're just using this, your basket is complete. Or you can add this for an extra detail. Or you can take the tag base and add everything to it to get the tag. Okay? So you would just line this up here and also add your handle. Put the handle down here. And then you would have an actual tag here. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish my project up and show you how I plan to use it, but I wanted to show you definitely the different ways and variations that you can use it, because it's not just one. You can stop at, you know, different stages along the way, which makes this super versatile and an amazing set. Also, I don't want to forget these tags here that you can add in different colors. You can do red tags, you know, or things like that. And then in the stamp set, the $5 stamp set, you get 4 different sentiments. You're so sweet. I will always pick you. You're amazing to the core. That pairs well with the apples. You're loved a bunch. Really cute ones. And you have 3 different label options. Okay. I wanted to point out that these label options may also fit with other Just Sentiments stamp sets, like Just Sentiments Grateful Heart, where you might just want to stamp for you or grateful or something like that. This one is really good. The Just Sentiments To and From Essentials, you might have since it's a tag, you might want to have a to and from on there. You can write very small and get that to and from on there. There's also a happy birthday to you, a thanks, with sincere gratitude. You're so special to me. A loved one that would fit or something also. And then also the joyful jars is a great one that would pair well with the labels in this set too, where you can actually just put that right on top and it'll just be perfect fit. Okay, so don't forget our other small sentiment stamp sets that will be great with this too. Okay, so I'm going to take this label and I'm going to take You're Amazing to the Core stamp here. And I'm going to ink it with the Cocoa Bean ink and stamp it right here in the center. Okay, the next thing I want to do, I already have stamped here, is on a piece of fine linen cardstock. I have the Rustic Brick Background stamp here, and I stamped it on here with fine linen with the two different options. And I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to take out Thankful Thoughts and pair it with this. Thankful, huge thankful. Next, I'm going to take a complimentary sentiment for all you do to finish out this thankful card. So thankful for all you do. Now I'm ready to add my basket, apples. Just add that there and my card is done. So it's a cool way to add so many different things. You have all of the Tag Creations Delightful Bunch, the stamp set and the coordinating dies, and then I paired it with the Thankful Thoughts stamp set too, and then the Rustic Brick Background in order to give it that little bit of a backdrop that it probably needs just to give you that little bit of an edge. But all in all, this is an amazing thank you card for the fall. And super easy to do, and there's so many ways you can use the Tag Creation stamp set. Whether you like to color or not, there's options available, and it's really fun to work with. I thoroughly enjoyed this stamping and coloring process today, and I hope you enjoyed watching the video as well. That's it for this week's Ink to Paper Saturday Showcase. I'm Ashley, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. You guys have a great Saturday. Bye.